I'm going after my drone. Gimbal motor overload, gimbal stuck. I swear, I like drones, but they about more freaking trouble than they worth. Got a little washout that Bob's jumping over there. Don't want to pull them plows through there and get it to washing. This is the field that done so bad on the soybeans, and I know why. Tops of these darn old hills are hard as a rock. And there was a line up there where there was quite a bit of difference in the beans, and where the beans was big and tall, the ripper ran through there very easy, and where they weren't, that ripper pulled hard. It let that old 4650's tail on fire. Well, I'm over here on a farm that's had a major transformation over the years. This old, a lot of people called it a pond, but it wasn't a pond. It was an old sediment basin because it had a riser on it, and there wasn't but a foot or two of water in that thing. But all this was grown up around it, and my buddy Cleve, before we bought a track hoe, I hired him come over here, and he cleaned around it and piled the brush pile on the back of this, and we got over here and burned it. You see some chunks right here. That's the burn pile. I took those chunks and just put them on the back side of this terrace. I would like to be able to work all this, but I ain't quite wrapped my mind around how we're going to do it. Might have to just live with it. Could really use the bulldozer on some of this project. I found a little D3C at Robbie's Equipment down in Wynn, Arkansas for $22,000. But I got a lot more stuff need worse than a dozer. wanting to update soybean headers and wanting to buy a newer sprayer. So you kind of got to prioritize what you want. Robert disted the backside of this. It's gonna be really nice. We're gonna be able to plant the backside of this year. Up there, I can understand why they backed off the fence row, because it's super steep. But right here, I don't know why they backed off the fence row so much, and I just let this fence row keep coming out. But what I did, when it gets right there where all them trees are, it falls off pretty quick into the creek. So I went and rolled all them trees up and piled that dirt up right there to keep all that water from running off that hill. Let them trees and dirt hold that soil back so it don't get to washing. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna take the 4640 and the disc, and we're gonna cut all this up real good and smooth it up good, and we'll put corn on this next year. Since we got these, there'll be some roots and stuff, and give them another year to decompose and break down and rot. And plus that little 18-acre creek bottom down there makes really good corn. Well, it makes really good beans too. But let's see if old Grouchy here is gonna crank today. It's pretty warm right now. This is the first day in like 2 weeks that I've been able to walk out here with a long sleeve shirt on. It has been getting down cold at night though. That's the reason old tractor wanted to take a little time to crank. It's been getting down to in the 20s at night, low 20s, which is pretty cold for West Tennessee. We ain't used to all this cold weather. Went to Rural King, bought me some flannel shirts. All my long sleeve shirts had been wore them out. So went to Rural King, got some $10 jeans and $10 shirts. That's where all my wardrobe comes from, in case you was wondering. Won't go back to Rural King on a Sunday again though. There's too many spectators on a Sunday just sitting there looking. I like going during the week. Normally if somebody's there during the week, it's a working man and he's got something he's looking for and he wants to get there, get in, get out. You got the church crowd on Sunday, so I won't make the mistake of going to the Rural King on a Sunday again. But let my old tractor warm up there, and then I'll see if I can get a little discing action. I ain't got my GoPros with me. We ain't been keeping the GoPros charged up like we need to, being we got done with harvest. So just been using my phone, and that's that. Put it on a little wider angle for y'all guys where you can see a little more, hopefully. Right here we're on the back side of this old big basin that was grown up. We're doing a little test run, see how it works here. Robert's already disted it a little bit, but I'm gonna run over it a little more here and try to level up a little more and chop a little more of this stuff up. Wish I had a new ground disc. It would do a little better. A new ground disc. There's a chunk I need to stop and pick up when I get done. Put the diff lock in, tie all the wheels together. Come up, Susie Q. You can do it. Come on. The whole ground get loose, the tractor losing traction. But a finishing disc, you know, to make the ground smooth. Because you got more blades. There's sharp old Kenworth. I don't know if y'all saw it. But you got more blades chopping the clods up. But a new ground disc, I think most of them like on 11-inch spacings. And what that does, it puts more weight per blade. And if you got more weight per blade, that makes it cut better and deeper. But I've about done all I can do with the disc. You see how it's kind of pulling dirt off the blades and trying to push a little bit. When you get to that point, you fix and start making a mess. What we really need is my old scratcher do-all over here. That scratcher do-all will pull dirt, and you know, if there's a low spot, dropping in there. But this farm has had a dramatic transformation in the past 3 days. Y'all see my detent working there? That's the bottom Robert worked up. Trying to get some dirt thrown over that wheat straw. But y'all get the gist of it. Got some chunks we gotta pick up. But other than that, I don't know why it's so rough back here, other than it just rough from where Cleve took the trees down. That I run the track hoe on, I'll show you it in a minute. It's slicked up pretty good. But it's getting about 12:07. It's 12:07 on November or something. About time for Robert to show up with the lunch wagon. But right here is where there used to be an old terrace. I didn't know it until I got to doing it, but you can feel it and you can see it with the disc. But I'll get out and show y'all that. Right here's the finished project. That old dirt's loose. See how it pulls them roots up. That dude, big one. Reckon who that came from. Well, one thing about it, even if we can't plant it, we can come sow some fescue down and keep it bush hogged. But if we let it keep on growing, them little old sapling trees will just keep coming out in the field and coming out in the field, and you just keep losing field. But I don't know how well the camera will pick it up, but get down here low. You see right there, you can catch the remnants of that old tires that wrapped around this hill and sent that water yonder way instead of letting it run down the hill. But I think with all that dirt and them trees piled up there, it'll catch that water and send it around kind of like this one was, and we'll be all right. This farm had been in CRP, the Conservation Reserve Program, where the government pays the landowner to let ground set out. You sow it down, just let it sit idle. So it was sat idle over 10 years, and you know, trees and stuff grow up during that time, and you know, it's just, I mean, it's just part of it if ground going into CRP. But one thing it did do is it become a very nice farm when it come out CRP. We like to never got it. We never like to got it in shape to plant, but when we did, it made some really good crop. And Robert's calling, let me catch him. Well, old Bruiser and I decided to come over here and we're running the drill over. Kind of, you know, we had all that old loose soil. Had all that loose soil from running the ditch where we leveled it. So Bruiser and I decided to come over here and drill a little wheat on it. Well, actually we got wheat and oats in there, and just kind of help hold her together. Big oak tree I pushed down right there. I probably should have fished it out and put it over there on the bank, but I thought I'd just leave it there and let it lay, and we'll come back next spring and or not next spring. Probably come back next fall and burn it. There was a pretty good sized ditch right here where I'm at. I pushed that oak tree down to where the root ball was at the end of the ditch, where maybe it slow that water down. There's a little spot right there next to the oak tree I'm gonna try to get a little closer to. Maybe I won't get off in there and get stuck. Knowing my luck, it's been known to happen. I've got in some pretty hairy situations before, not even trying to. It looks kind of ugly. Maybe it'll settle down this winter and look better. Maybe we'll get a couple gentle showers to settle that down before we get a gully washer. On a bright note, it is like 60 degrees today, and maybe this weight will come on up and get to growing pretty fast. Well, deer shot up from right there around pretty much everywhere you see is good clean dirt, and in the back of this terrace there, while we was not planting new ground, we gained 1.3 acres. We'll be planting 1.3 acres this coming year we wasn't able to plant. That way was paying rent on 44 acres, and there ain't but 38 tillable. So, you know, so that gets us just a little closer to what we're paying for. Alright, let's go drill some more ditches, Bruiser.